happy Monday, happy May Day, and welcome to Power Talk. I'm Adrienne, I'm your host, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time promoting nothing this morning because I've got this most fabulous guest in the whole wide world, and I want to bring her right on. My guest today is Aleya. She is the author of The 7 Cups of Consciousness, which is a life-changing book. If you have not already read it, you can get it on Amazon. It's available in audio. It's available in Kindle. It's available in trade paperback. And you can find out everything you need to know about Aleya on her website, which is aleyadao, ALEYADAO.com. And if your computer is like mine, the spell check tries to make it Alexa Dow every time I do it, but hey, I've learned to watch. So we're all good. Welcome, Aleya.
Thank you, Jean. It's a treat and a joy to be here.
Oh, my pleasure, totally. So listeners, I met Aleya probably 5 years ago now, basically through her sound healing work. She's got a ton of amazing meditation CDs. She's got the voice of an angel. She does light language and toning in a way that takes you to levels you wouldn't have gotten to probably. I know it does for me anyway, without these CDs. And so I interviewed her way back in the day on radio. And that's how we got started as friends. I started following her work, and I missed the last deep dive, which would have been the 4th one in a row, where she has a group of people into a select area and really goes really deep into her protocols. And those are life-changing events. I mean, every year when I came home, everything in my life sort of rearranged itself, sometimes nicely, sometimes in a messy way. But it did. And
transformation.
It's all been good. Yeah. I wouldn't change any bit of it because I know it's all been divinely perfect. And so I didn't get to go to the last one because I had 2 weeks before I had the accident that messed up my eye. And so I didn't get to go to Miami. So they held vigil for me. I think they put a little candle in a chair.
We did. You had a spot.
Yep, I got the candle here too. So yeah, it's got full of that wonderful energy. And she's getting ready to do another deep dive. This time it's going to be in Provence. And so on the 15th of May, I'm heading to France to hook up with her for the 19th, 20th, and 21st for the deep dive. And I think you said there's one more space left?
Yes, we have one more spot. I really wanted to keep this deep dive really small and intimate so that we can go very deeply into individual aspects of the soul that's riding in the body, and then the team and the guides that encircle us that help us in our journey here.
Yeah, and so when she talks about going deep, she does protocols. They're like mini meditations, I guess. You don't have to sit and go kumbaya for an hour and breathe. You just listen and participate up high. Your mind doesn't have to even play in it. So it's the easiest way of personal enlightenment I've ever found, and I'm all about easy.
Efficient,
yeah,
right?
Efficient and sustainable.
And I want to see the results within 20 to 30 seconds at an emotional, energetic level. And then knowing that as we feel that shift internally, we automatically start drawing to us different situations and reflecting to us what we're holding within.
Right. Absolutely. And, and you allow people to taste these cups of consciousness by signing up on your website. Would you explain that?
Yeah, people can go to cupsofconsciousness.com or my other website, aleyadao.com, ALEYADAO.com, and you can get a free trial week of these daily cups of consciousness that I record fresh, new audio meditations Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but then I pull on Tuesdays and Thursdays from the archives. And just yesterday when I was recording this morning's meditation, I was uploading the audio file and I saw oh my gosh, I have 1,550 meditations. And so I've
Wow.
been doing them since 2009, and I'm watching the energetic weather and bringing in very specific energetic protocols, prayers, sound healing to help you use the energetic weather that's coming onto the planet to assist you in your growth, your evolution, your shift in consciousness, and your awakening. Because a lot of the times we use our outer worlds, outer struggles, physical health issues, our relationships, our finances, our eye to open our third eye as a mechanism to shift and awaken. And the more we take responsibility for our own awakening deep in our core, instead of needing to use the outer world, those challenges get less, they get lighter.
Mhm. Absolutely. And the meditation from this morning was sweet, beautiful. It was about supporting the heart. And it was exactly what I needed. And what I find, I get them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And what I find is that when I do that, every time I open up my computer first thing in the morning on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right along with my latte, I have my cup of consciousness, and it's always exactly what I need. So
Beautiful.
thank you. Thank
You're
you.
so welcome. I know, and it's hard because there's so many things that we have to do in our day. And I feel like a lot of people are overprogrammed and they have this very tight schedule, and there isn't a lot of time for reflection. And then on top of it, there's the fatigue and even a soul fatigue. And so with these daily meditations that I do, and even the Tall Cup energy balancing sessions that I do every 3 weeks, it's really allowing some other energetic aspect of you to listen to the work, to shift it, and then as that higher self energetic aspect of you shifts in a higher realm, it then positively impacts your physical world. So you're actually not needing to use your physical attention to make the shifts. Now, after doing the daily cups or the tall cups for several months or a year, you start to lighten your load, and then you have more of your creative energy and your passion and your focus that you can divert to this higher self. So if you think, I don't have the time, I'm totally stressed out, just let some other part of you listen while you are multitasking, opening your email and sipping your latte.
And I know a lot of people that I have discussed this with will actually play them on their iPad all night long. They'll
Yes,
just like start the list and go down through your protocols while they sleep. I
they do.
can't imagine what that would do.
Sometimes
but
if
but
you
it works for them.
I know. And if you do too many meditations, or a bundle, maybe not too many, but let's say you do 10 or 15 or 20 meditations while you're sleeping, you just put it on loop.
Hmm.
What can happen is all of the stuff starts to come to the surface, and then you start processing these pieces in dream time. And so you might actually have bad dreams as you are resolving and healing and cleaning up previous incarnations, traumas that have happened in this incarnation. And personally, I would rather have a bad dream than a bad day.
Right.
So if there is lots of cleanup that does need to happen, or we haven't been very conscious and awake about our behavior, or we've been out of integrity or not kind, recognize that there is some cleanup that does need to happen, and allow that energetic part of you to start doing it in your dream time. Then when you wake up in the morning, you ask yourself, okay, how can I hold an energy inside myself that is the vibration of the spiritual lesson from that trauma or that unpleasant dream?
Yeah.
And then you're intentionally shifting yourself internally, which again shifts the outer world. And the other piece about dreams that we want to be conscious of is that if we are of service and we're a healer or a teacher or a guide to people in our life, we could be having other people's dreams. It's shamanic dreaming. And that means that you have information for other people. So try not to take it personally. Just allow some energetic part of you to send whatever information you have for this individual that you were helping in dream time.
That's that's an important piece I think you just talked about that I was never aware of, because your cosmology is completely different from anything that I had studied from a spiritual metaphysical standpoint before I met you. And the whole piece about being able, that all another soul wants from you is just information. The whole piece about passing information at the level of the higher self is something that I had never considered. And boy, that sure makes it so much easier, and there's so much less of this energetic entanglement that you get when you try to, force it down somebody's throat.
Absolutely. And we also do, we live in a codependent culture. It's like the idea of wanting for someone's safety or happiness. We think that that's a good thing, right? Right out of the gate. It's like, oh yeah, of course I want for the world to be in a state of peace and happiness and my loved ones to be safe. Yet, as we hold that codependent way of being that sounds good, what we're actually doing is we're getting attached to other people's happiness, peace, or safety. Then in the next breath, we energetically take responsibility for them to be peaceful, happy, or safe. Then we put this vibrational gift, energetic fabric that we've woven of happiness and safety and peace onto another person. Now we're disempowering them, we're sliming them, we're in arrogance because we're projecting what we value onto another, instead of simply holding attachment for our own reality on ourselves, responsible for our own energy, modeling the solution of what we think might be useful to another individual, and then inviting them to cultivate those vibrations inside themselves while we send appropriate energetic information. So
Absolutely.
it's a major shift in the paradigm, and it can take several years to really vibrationally feel that. Took me about 2 years to not be responsible for other people's process, and I've been a healer for over 25 years. And so, it's a layered onion, and to be
Yeah.
gentle with self.
Right. And, a lot of people, when I try to suggest that to them, because I'm observing what they're doing and I try to suggest that this might be a easier way to get their point across, they go, oh, no, I'm supposed to, we're supposed to take care of our brother. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. I'm going to take care of him, all that kind of stuff, and that's just, it's part of this framing that we've gotten into through history, through what other people have told us. And it's a matter of cleaning that stuff up.
It is. And also that whole piece of we're supposed to take care of people. We can take care of them and support them to the degree they're supporting themselves.
Right.
So I can totally show up for you to the degree you're showing up for yourself. If you want me to show up more for you than you are for yourself, then I'm going to become the martyr. You're going to feel guilty. Then I'm going to feel resentful, right? It gets messy fast. And so when we have people in our life that we do love and we do want to support them, recognize that you want to show up for them to the degree they're showing up for themselves, and that you are simply a reflection of their own internal reality.
Yeah, absolutely. And, because it really is all about balance.
Yes.
And, this fifth dimensional reality that we've stepped into, whether you're ready or not, here we come. It's all about balance.
We're there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we move into this 2017 and then this quickening that's just started, that's going to be with us May, June, July, August, this quickening is really showing us in our outer world what we're holding inside ourselves. It's very quick. The delay is short. And so it is an opportunity for us to very quickly auto-correct. If your finances aren't in the kind of shape that you want them to be, ask yourself, well, where are you holding your creative energy and your focus and your vitality and your passion? Are you holding all of your creativity, your focus, and your passion inside yourself? Same for your body and your team. Or are you holding your support grids out on other people? What would happen if you use that energetic aspect of you to pull all of those support grids off of everyone you've ever worked with or your ancestors and only support yourself and model that in the world? So it's lovely because it's this really quick feedback, fast feedback loop that we're going to be in for the next several months. It's an incredible time to manifest that which we desire.
Yeah. And, you started moving towards a protocol on that, but I think that that's kind of a common concern that a lot of people have. Can you do one of your protocols real quick to show people what that's like, to actually,
Absolutely.
Let's correct it right now.
So a lot of people are having support issues, meaning they don't feel supported by the people in their life. The money isn't supporting them. They don't have the beloved partner in their life that they want, which is a form of support. Their physical body might be breaking down, the knee pain, the ankle pain, the back pain, or a particular organ that's not functioning correctly. So if we just imagine that we all have a certain level of an opportunity to shift how we are supported in the world, i.e. an opportunity to shift how we are inside ourselves. Before I do a protocol, these protocols are like prayers, full working prayers, and there's specific steps. And we have to understand that we live in a multidimensional world where we have the physical dimension, but then we have access to these other dimensions. And you are a soul riding in the body. And then your body is from Earth, physical human form. It also has an etheric, energetic aspect. And then you have a team of beings that encircle you, and they also affect your reality. So there's 3 components: you, soul rider, your body, and your team. And then you've got your guides hanging out on the perimeter. And your team really operates like a buffer system, but it's much easier for them to shift and then positively, dimensionally, empathically impact you, because they don't have the physical dimension. So when we're doing these protocols or these prayers, we are addressing all of those components. And so we're going to bring in a protocol for support. We invite you to take a deep breath in, to pull yourself into an inner river of light that flows up and down the front of your spine. You are getting online. In order to make a request or a prayer, we have to be online, and that online is in this inner river of light that flows up and down the front of the spine. Using your higher self, that energetic aspect of you, to pull all of your anchors and awareness into this inner river of light. We invite your higher self, your body, Davis higher self and team, to work with the energetic fields and the guides to energetically locate any responsibility that you are holding for supporting another from all incarnations, and to return that responsibility back to its right and perfect place, along with all relevant and appropriate energetic information. And this is the part that's the easiest and the hardest, where you just have to let go and wait and allow some energetic aspect of you, your body, and your team to return all responsibility for supporting others back to its right and perfect place. And then as you return that responsibility, we invite you at the level of your higher self, body, Davis higher self, and team, to retrieve all responsibility for being supported that you gave to others. It is no one else's job to support you. It is yours. Retrieve that responsibility. Same for your body and your team. And as you, your body, and your team hold full responsibility for supporting your individual selves, we invite you to energetically retrieve all of your grids and your energetic fabric, your wisdom and your mastery of how you support yourself in your very own unique way, bringing it back to you, cleaning it, clearing it, recalibrating it, and holding it entirely in your own field. Same for your body and your teams. Team members. Here we go. Anchoring it in, and then activating the vibration of support in your divine line, divine cosmic loop. Same for your body and team. And then we take a deep breath in. We hold the energy and awareness in the inner river of light, imagining a stream of support flowing there, that is the only place we are supported. The light of your essence is what supports you. Not your body, not your finances, not your relationships, just the light of your essence. And your body, nature spirit, has its divine line that runs through the spine, the spinal cord. And invite your body, David, to feel how it is totally supported by the light that flows in its divine line that runs through the spine. Nothing else. Same for your teams. And then as you find and feel these vibrations of support, lift all of your reference points for finding support off of the outer world and back to this inner river of light. Updating all of your grids, all your reference points, and as you move in the day, sleep, dream, and play, hold the awareness every single time you think about money or relationships or your body. In the next breath, hold your awareness in your divine line. Oh, my light supports me. And that is the shift where you are taking responsibility. It's a healthy, co-creative, empowered way of being. Protocol complete.
Thank you.
You are so welcome.
Yeah, so viewers, these are the kinds of protocols that you get every day when you listen to the Talk Up. And trust me when I say this, that they're always exactly what you need, because Aleya's tapping into the energetic weather that we're all going through. And because we're all one, we pretty much all need the same thing every single time.
Yeah, we're all on the planet at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we've all agreed to to, I think, really embrace this light that's coming onto the planet on some level, and be radical and be different and be extreme. And this light that's streaming onto the planet is waking us up. Now, it's a little uncomfortable for people that have been hitting the snooze button, right? It's like, what? No, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wake up. That was a good dream, right? It was like soft and fluffy, and I didn't have to be aware, and I didn't have to be responsible. And so the people that are really, really, really upset, it's just an indicator that they're really, really determined to wake up. Mm-hmm. And so if you're having a moment of upset, recognize that you are really eager and chomping at the bit to awaken to the light that flows within you to a deeper degree. And then ask yourself, what is the mechanism or the tool that you are using to wake up to a certain degree, to a greater degree? It might be uncomfortable. Well, you can change the tool, and you can use your breath and your intent and the daily cups of consciousness or any other tools that resonate for you to, again, cultivate and connect with this light that flows within to a deeper degree.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really does make your life on a day-to-day basis so much easier. Yes. When you remember to do that. And, but we're still, souls riding in a human body that's still having a human experience. And sometimes we do forget. Yes. And, we do the cosmic ouch, and, but it's okay because it's all part of a beautiful process.
Yes.
And, yeah.
I love that you just said that we do forget, because I was in meditation a year or two ago. Not that it's been a year or two since I meditated, but I meditate every day. But in this meditation, my teachers and guides in the higher realms were saying that remembering and forgetting is a mechanism that we do use to awaken to a deeper degree. Mm-hmm. And what we want to watch is the gap between the remembering and the forgetting, and also the density of the forgetting. And so every time we wake up in the morning, we have an opportunity to remember our light to a deeper degree. And then we might remember it for like 10 seconds or 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 minutes. And then we have our day. And then maybe 3 hours later, we forget that we are a soul riding in a body, having an empathic human experience beam of light. It's like we're beams of light. So for 3 hours, you just forgot you were a beam of light riding in the form. Ooh, now you get to remember again. And every time you remember to a deeper degree than the time before. And every time you forget to a lesser degree than the time before, so that eventually you become an ascended master and you remember on your inhale, you forget on your exhale, you remember on your inhale. It is a half breath gap.
And I know you're a pilot, and the metaphor that I was seeing as you were saying that is like touch and go. Yeah. The first time you probably did a touch and go probably scared the shit out of you, but you survived it. And then every time after that, as you were practicing, it got easier and easier. And now you probably wouldn't even think twice about doing it, right?
well, I haven't flown my own plane lately. We've decided that I'm a better co-pilot for my husband, because we have a little plane, and I am dyslexic, and I also am a highly conscious multidimensional being. And so I am flipping my awareness a lot of the times into other dimensions, which is really fun and easy for me. But when you're flying a plane, that's not such a good idea.
Exactly. So, and your husband's one of the most grounded individuals I've ever met. So
very grounded. And so he has 30 years of experience of being a pilot. So I am co-pilot, and I'm really good when we're in the plane, because I can feel a plane coming 5 miles out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, can you see that or feel that plane coming at us at 11 o'clock about 1,000 feet up? And he's like, nope. And then like 10 minutes later, he's like, oh, there it is. Exactly. So that's handy. But I was going to say something about the remembering and the forgetting, to be gentle with yourself, because a lot of the times we get into that self-critic place when we have forgotten. But just remember, it's just a process. It's another mechanism that we use to cultivate greater awareness.
Exactly. And, speaking of airplanes, that reminded me, for those of us who are going to France to join Aleya there for the deep dive, she sent us out a protocol yesterday about creating the grids and setting everything up so that we have a perfect experience when we do it, perfect for who we are, for each of us individually, which is a really great thing about being conscious. You can do this now. And
Yes.
there's no reason to not have a smooth, gentle experience with anything you're doing, even if it's going to the dentist.
Correct. Unless you want to cultivate greater compassion and have a research project on what it's like to go out into the world without setting up the energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
it's like,
You're
oh,
looking
that's
at
what most
why?
people experience. Oh, now I can have even more compassion for them because they don't have the tools, or they don't have the interest in setting up the grids and the energy. And that's a really good thing. So sometimes I will intentionally go into an experience without setting up the grids. And I find how often it feels very flat,
Mhm.
or anxiety producing, or things don't go as smoothly. It's not as rich and deep. And sometimes I also set up the grids like for travel or for a doctor's appointment. But then there's like I'm sitting in the doctor's office, which doesn't happen very often, but let's pretend the dentist, because I go to the dentist a lot. Um, and there might be a 10-minute delay or a 15 or a 20-minute delay. But then I start talking to the person that I'm sitting next to. And they start giving me information and I give them information. And had there not been the delay, there wouldn't have been that time of connect.
Oh, yeah.
Or because there's the delay, I get to ponder something or read an article in a magazine that I wouldn't have normally had. So really recognize that anytime there are delays or glitches, that it might not be that it's out of timing, like, oh, I set up the grids. Why is there this delay in this glitch? Well, it's because you needed a moment to receive information or relay information, or
Mhm.
to reset or adjust or rest.
Yeah.
So giving yourself that container too of there's no good, there's no bad. It's just being in that flow and looking at everything as a positive opportunity to, again, awaken, expand, be. And when we're only looking at the happy door, that's the only door we're walking through.
Right.
And then we just keep creating more and more happy doors, as opposed to, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened for me. Like,
Yeah.
okay, now there's going to be another door that holds that energy, as opposed to, how is this the best thing that's ever occurred? Even if it's a horrible tragedy situation.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. People comment to me constantly about, number one, if I'm such an enlightened being and I meditate all the time and I do all this stuff and blah, 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 why did I manage to fall and hurt my eye? I tell them, it was just all part of what my body wanted to experience. And,
Right.
and that's okay. That's her
Right.
thing. And
And
then,
or you could come up with a really cool one-liner. I was hell-bent and determined to open my third eye to a greater degree.
there you go. Why didn't I think of that? But then, they continue it forward about, well, why would you do such a thing? And I can't tell you how much I've grown in the last 6 months. I
Yeah.
mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And, but I could have, I won't say I should, because I'm not going to should that. I could have chosen a less painful, easier way, but hey, it worked, and it worked fast. And here we are.
Yeah. And also, when we're in this world, and as we get older and our time in the gym is shorter, we do crank up that courage dial a little bit more. And we're like, okay, you know what? I've only got 20 or 30 or 40 more years left, as opposed to like 60 or 80. Some part of us can vibrationally feel how long we're going to be here in the world. And I really do think of this as the gym.
Mm.
And so if we have something that is a challenge, it forces us to cultivate very particular vibrations inside ourselves to a deeper degree, so that when we're back in the real world, standing naked with no gym outfit on, we are totally holding the vibration that we were so determined to attain.
Yeah.
And so, when something like we get a cold, or we have an accident, or something happens in our outer world or our body, recognize our courage and our determination to attain a very particular vibration inside ourselves. And then when we celebrate our courage, then we don't go to shame, and we really start milking it for every single layer that it's worth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Well, this has been amazing, Aleya, as always. I can't wait to get to France and actually get to spend days and days with you. That's going to be wonderful too. But thank you so much for getting up early and getting all faced up and
You're
being
so welcome.
so early in the morning. I really appreciate that. And I'll be seeing you very soon.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having me on, Jean. It's always a joy to connect with you.
Oh, my pleasure, totally. And viewers, next week, my guest is going to be Craig Waldron. Craig is a handwriting analyst. He can examine your handwriting and he can tell you areas of your life where you might not even be aware that things aren't going as well as they should be. I was blown away when he looked at my handwriting and he came up with some stuff and I'm like, really? And you know that? How? And he goes, well, it's how you write the M of your last name and then the I is like on top of it. You know, I'm like, oh my God. So he gives you homework and you get to, pretend like you're in the second grade learning cursive again and you practice little letters. And that is also a very positive, easy, malleable experience that you can have as well. So join me next week to meet Craig Waldron and learn about scriptotherapy. And so until next time, remember, people who take responsibility for their lives create the reality they desire. Ciao.